drama between Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby has gotten very intense. The former ITV personality Philip Schofield, as we speak now, has unfollowed and, of course, taking Holly Willoughby's pictures off his Instagram page. Well, according to Philip Schofield, he is going to pay Holly in a very interesting way. We'll be here to tell you the details about what really Philip is talking about. But for now, this is Daily Trends of Pinax News. Do well to like and subscribe to our page. For more news, please log on to pinaxnews.com. And of course, for your thought and comment, it will be appreciated beneath this comment section of this particular episode. Join us. Let's get interactive. Now, officially, we do know that Philip Schofield has taken a bow from hosting, ITV's prestigious program, This Morning Show, co-hosted as well by Holly Willoughby. Now, after Philip took an exit from ITV, there's been a lot of speculations, going on about his relationship with Holly Willoughby. We did also bring you some report about Holly coming out and, throwing, Philip Schofield under the bus after it was alleged that Philip was having quite a lecherous relationship with a young, personality in the ITV space. Now, that drama and beef has already been established, but looks like Philip is really still not doing it or feeling very happy with Holly Willoughby, who apparently threw him under the bus. Now, just at the ended NTV Awards, the National Television Awards, I beg your pardon, it was also revealed that Philip apparently was mocking ITV for their bizarre loss to the repair shop. Now, after the former co-star apparently threw the ITV personalities, including Holly Willoughby under the bus also, a lot of people came out to also address the issue, saying that Philip was not right with the action. But what really is Philip's, thought about all of this? Now, we did also bring you reports that Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby both have unfollowed themselves on Instagram. Well, it started from Philip, who unfollowed Holly on Twitter and of course on TikTok as well. Then the latter, we did bring you another report where she apparently unfollowed Holly Willoughby. Now, the families of Philip also did unfollow Holly. Then Holly also unfollowed. Now, it became very interesting tiff on social media between the two. Now, the shocker right now as we speak is that Holly photos that she shared with Philip Schofield when the two were very, very good or best of friends. Philip has apparently taken all of them off his Instagram page. We can put that on your screens for you to see. That's Philip Schofield's account there on your screen, so you see exactly what the relationship between Philip and Holly Willoughby's friendship is going so far. We are really anticipating for an interesting journey between these two, but looks like the two, especially from the former co-star Philip Schofield, he actually is really angry still with Holly Willoughby for throwing him one under the bus, and of course not being a good friend till now. It's getting very interesting on social media. Now, one would have thought that these two were going to have their tiff or something resolved or solved, so everything comes off from social media, and the two really move on even after being separated from their hosting programs. But looks like Philip is really pissed about the whole issue that happened even after his exit from ITV. And of course, the interview that he had with BBC suggesting his raunchy, relationship with a young guy, at ITV, and thinking that Holly would be, standing by his side. Unfortunately, Holly didn't. And of course, she apparently threw Philip Schofield under the bus. But in this interesting, expose that was, interview that was granted some few days ago, looks like this is really the reason why Philip Schofield apparently was, jinxed from the ITV program. So I don't really understand why Philip Schofield is putting the blame so much on Holly. Well, let's check this video out and see what really this interview contained after ITV's, throwing Philip Schofield from the ITV network. Take a listen.
Loose women. And is it true that they actually had to sack another young male runner in order to give him the job? I'm delighted that McGiff joins me now, becoming the first loose woman to speak out about the growing cover-up at ITV. So, Carol, look, we're going to talk about this extraordinary interview with Philip Schofield in just a moment. But I think the first thing that is really important to ask you about is the fact that this runner was put on your show, Loose Women. And is it true that they actually had to sack another young male runner in order to give him the job?
Whether they had to or not, I don't know, but they did. And everybody was really quite upset about it because, you know, everybody loved him and he was a great runner. But I think he was actually a runner. But then one day, I mean, I wasn't there a lot of the time. I used to get all my information from everybody else. One day I got a text message and it was from the young man in question. And he said, I'm the new production secretary at Loose Women. I thought, hang on a minute, what's happened here? I didn't even know that Mitch had gone at the time.
So Mitch was the previous runner, and I remember him. He was a great guy.
He was a great boy, yeah.
And for some reason he goes.
He disappeared.
And in comes this new runner.
Yeah.
Who, it was rumoured, was having a relationship with Philip Schofield.
Yes, which I didn't know at the time, but then gradually, as he'd been there for a little bit of time, it was quite obvious. As Eamon said the other night, he was a bit troubled. He was quite troubled. And some of the other Loose Women, I'm pretty sure, kind of sensed that, you know, probably had a little bit of parental power and sensed that he was in a bit of a bad way and kind of, you know, not coached him, but tried to comfort him. And I think that he began to open up to some of them. And this was the first time that I found this out. I didn't know anything about it before that. I've not ever been part of This Morning. I was only ever part of Loose Women, and only from 2018 as well. So, and he turned up in, I think, quite early 2019. And I thought, well, I knew there was something wrong. Everybody knew there was something wrong. And when people around ITV say, oh, we didn't know anything about it, you did. Everybody did. I mean, everybody knew. And you can still say it's a rumour because no one's actually confirmed it. Well, Philip has confirmed it now and is now coming across as though he's protesting too much, like I'm innocent. I'm not innocent. I'm the guilty party. And as Sean just said, actually, and I said this earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if they'd all got together and said, right, you take the hit, Philip, and he's covering everybody else because I'm absolutely convinced they covered all that up and they knew exactly what was going on because the way it was engineered, you knew there was something going on straight away.
Now, Carol, I spoke to numerous Loose Women at the time who told me off the record they were very angry to be put in the position of having to work with Philip Schofield's young lover because they felt that it put them in an unfair position because he was going through a lot at the time. There were a lot of issues, won't go into what the issues were, but there were issues with this guy and they thought it was highly unfair that they were almost having to deal with Philip Schofield's mess. Did you feel that at all?
Well, I didn't because I wasn't there enough, but and also I'm not, you know me, I'm not very sensitive to people. Yeah, I just think, oh, you know, if someone's got a problem, it's not mine. Which is a little bit selfish, I know. But there are very sort of empathetic people working on Loose Women, and they did kind of take him under their wing, and it wasn't right that they had to do that because I think it was Eamon who said the other night that he was just literally hoisted upon another show and called it a promotion. So yeah, his title did change. It was production secretary rather than runner as it was before.
But he was doing exactly the same job.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually a promotion, was it? They engineered a job move.
I think he was doing, because apparently it was reported that he was Philip's PA as well as the runner. And this is how, you know, they became so close. So he was kind of, you know, booking travel and doing other things.
But then he disappears one day, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, as far as I know, one day there was somebody new in the job, and I'm like, well, like, you know, changing every 5 minutes. And someone just said to me, well, the young man who was Philip's lover went up to Manchester to work for ITV. So I'm thinking, well, there was no real notice of that. There wasn't like, oh, I'm leaving, I'm going to Manchester, or I don't know, maybe I just missed it, but it was kind of strange that then suddenly he disappeared. and he'd gone up to Manchester, and I don't think many people heard from him since. And there were some people on Loose Women, some women who were really worried about him, actually.
Yeah, they were.
And he was in a bad way. I saw him out a few times, and you could just tell that he was probably having a bit of a breakdown at the time.
No,
So
absolutely, and there were a lot of the women who were worried about them. Some of them stayed in touch. Some of them